Friday, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, everybody. Hello, people. Hello, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Hi, everybody. Coming in, coming in, coming in, coming in. Say hello, coming in. I don't know why I sing you. Don't ask me why. Well, hi, everyone. Hi, everybody. Hi, everyone. Coming in. Say hello. How's everyone doing? Happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Hey, honey. What you on? Huh? Uh-huh. I'm on live. Yeah, that's Grace. Say hi to everybody.
Hello.
Okay, bye.
Greetings.
Yeah, that's Grace. Hi, everyone. Hello. Happy Friday. It's been a long day. I'm tired. Hi. Um, Real Ayababs. Okay. I'm guessing your last name starts with B something. Hey, Facebook and YouTube. And y'all need to go subscribe to YouTube. Hi, Mr. Jen. I see you. Hello, Vicky, Air Braiding Salon. Sisi Loyania, Shalafia. Um, I tell you, I saw someone, I just had a conversation before I came on, someone braiding their hair. And I'm so tempted to go have my hair braided. It's just going to take forever. Number one. Number two, I deal with migraines. I think I've talked about that before. I've always dealt with migraines my whole life. Like, growing up, my parents try to figure out. I love feeling okay, what the heck was going on. But yeah, so that's one thing. Listen, we all have issues that can bring us down. You just have to make a conscious decision that you won't let things affect, or you, I mean, that's not going to define my life. So, but I say that because I cannot have anything heavy on my head. So that's why for me it's just easy to just braid my hair and just leave it and then just be happy with it. Hey, Messianic. Is it Messianic? Messianic. Hi, everybody. Come on in. Let's talk immigration. If you need to contact our office, good evening. Good evening, Lord Boy. Interesting. Good evening, Libra 8833. Real Lexi. Good evening, everybody. Come on in. Let's talk immigration. If you have questions, put them. Good evening, Miss Okwayemi. How are you? Good. Thank you, Mr. Jen. I appreciate you. And I see you all the time. If you have any immigration case that we can help you with, if you got questions, put them in the comment section to start with. If you have an immigration case that we can help you with doing your case, we can be contacted at 334-341-4475. Send an email to aos@olalayalawfirm.com. Text us to the number. I think the fastest way to get a response is usually text. Yeah. Because the thing is, I see every text that comes in, and my phone is hooked to my. That's my hip. So if it's a text, there's a badge the text is waiting. I usually just respond. But let us know how we can help you with your immigration case. We would love to be able to do that. And I am on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube, please do so. It's Olalaya Immigration. If you have not followed us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, that would be greatly appreciated. I'm trying to get 5,000 by the end of February, 5,000 followers on Facebook. So y'all need to help a girl out, okay? Okay, so this evening I am, and by the way, thank you. I was just about to say that. Gwanze Uche, I was just about to say that. my baby, my TJ. Let me see if he's gonna. TJ, he's far away. I have to literally shout. But my sweet, sweet child, won. Yes, put your question in the comment section. Won the uh regional spelling bee competition. So it starts with class spelling bee, and then the school level, and then from the school, whoever wins go to the district level, and that's the district for mixed out independent schools, and then whoever the top two winners of the district level will not go to the overall, which is the regional that has, I think it includes 4 states, regional level, and it ends up being one person. So he won school level, class level, school level, district level, and today regional level. So some of the words that they called out, I ain't gonna lie to you, I have no clue what the heck those words. First of all, whether they were in, I'm not even kidding. Some of those words are not in the Webster dictionary. That's not a joke. Number one. Number two, in my entire life, I've never heard of some of these words ever. Ever. And I'm like, okay, did I go to school at a different era, or some words just some people just decided to come together and put some letters and give a definition? But I tell you, those kids all did a phenomenal job. Like the pressure to be there and spell and all that, represent your school. Yeah. And I ain't gonna take anything away from Chris. He actually studied with him. Because my kid makes fun of my accent. See, because if I didn't come from Nigeria, his little ass would not be born here. So I'll say a word and like, well, that's not how you say it. So I was like, you know what? I ain't doing it. Not doing it. Don't have time for that kind of crazy. And I have too much going on for 11-year-old to make fun of my accent and doing it. So, but anyway, we're so proud of him. That's the second year in a row. So he won in 5th grade and then this year 6th grade. So that's been the bulk of my day. We just got home and then jumped on consultations and then now. But anyway, let's talk immigration. Let's talk about whether you should refile or appeal the denial of your marriage-based green card petition application. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you can see that on your screen. Refile or appeal or denial. What should you do? Thank you, MS. Is it 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓 or 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕? This is my hairstyle, J3 Clothing. Listen, it's an happenstance hairstyle for real. But refile or appeal a denial, what should you do? I'll get to the questions later. The first thing that you need to consider is, what was the reason for the denial? What was the reason for the denial? And based on the reason for the denial, that will be, if you're consulting with me, that will be one of the very first things I'm going to ask you. And based on that, I would go further and ask you, tell me if you had an interview and it was inconsistent stories at the interview. Was it a document issue? I would need to know the details of why you were denied. So whether you should refile or appeal will depend on the reason why you were denied to start with and what options you have. Now, when we're talking of marriage-based green card application, obviously that's the I-130 and I-485, where you file adjustment status combo, right? Now, there's some situations where you just file an I-130 by itself. That's different. But in a sense that's just that petition by itself. But when majority of the time, people would file the combination of one-step adjustment status, primarily because, you're faster on your way to green card, and then you can apply for work authorization as well. And so I'm trying to decide, what should I appeal or refile? Now, you cannot appeal the denial of an I-485, the green card application itself. There's no appeal rights. You can file a motion to reopen or reconsider but you cannot appeal. Now, you can appeal the I-130 petition, the denial of that petition itself. The way the appeal process works is, and the Board of Immigration Appeals is the board that has, or the body that has jurisdiction over I-130 petitions. When you file an I-130 petition, you would notice that the address you're sending to is a field office. This is the reason why that is. When you file an appeal, it doesn't go directly to the Board of Immigration Appeals, BIA. It goes back to USCIS. The adjudicating officer or the next level officer will take yet another look at everything you sent in and see if it overcomes the reason for denial. If it does, then they would approve that case right there. If it doesn't, then they just pack everything back up, and then I'll forward it to the ICE attorney's office and then on to the Board of Immigration Appeals. So that's the process for an I-130. It doesn't just go directly to BIA. It goes through that process. Now, so let's give some examples of that, how you can decide if you should appeal or refile. If your denial was based on, say, for instance, and this is one thing that they're coming up with, where they say Nigerian divorce decrees are fake. Yeah, listen, they just like to bring Nigerians down, but that's okay. It's not okay, but it's okay. If that's the reason they tell you, well, we couldn't verify your divorce decree. Sometimes, and that it's complete BS, where it's for instance, if they tell you you said you were married before, but you bring a customer letter from the customary court, or it's not stamped, whatever. If it's something where that you can actually verify the authenticity of your document, that's a situation where you can appeal. So if your 485 will be denied based on the fact that your visa petition is denied, the I-130, but they will list the grounds in your spouse's I-130 denial. And that ground would be you weren't legally free to marry because the previous marriage wasn't properly terminated. If you believe and you can prove with affidavits or verification, recordation that is untrue, then you may be better off appealing the I-130 denial. If the appeal is sustained, then you can file to reopen your 485. One question I get all the time is if I appeal an I-130, can I also file to reopen a 485? What you can file, but it doesn't mean it's going to be granted. The reason being, there is no basis for USCIS to reopen your 485. The basis of your 485, which is I-130, was denied. So what is the underlying petition for them to reconsider or reopen your 485? Now, if the appeal is sustained, then you can, regardless of the time, this is what I've done in my practice, now file a motion to reopen your 485 based on the fact that your appeal has been sustained. So that's one example. If your marriage-based green card is denied because of lack of sufficient evidence, and you do not have any more evidence to add, no additional evidence to include in your case, you may be better off appealing because there's nothing new that you want to, if you present the same exact thing to USCIS, you most likely will get the same exact result. If, however, you believe that you now have, because I always say when you get a denial is a guideline for you to know what went wrong and how to fix it, because they will list all the grounds, and then you can using that, you can address potentially what issues you may face. So that's just how I approach things, or approach cases like that. So if you have additional evidence that's going to booster your case, then you may just be better off refiling. Obviously, you're going to pay new filing fees, but you may be better off refiling. Another thing is, if your case is denied, regardless of the reason why it's denied, besides your spouse not showing up. If your case is denied, your spouse, you went for the interview, case is denied, right? And you are thinking, okay, if I appeal, how long is that going to take? If I refile, how long is that going to take? If you are wondering about time constraints, it's usually better for you and faster, especially if you're worried about being able to still work. Better and faster to actually refile the whole thing and get an attorney next time you do it than to appeal. The reason being, appeals back in pre-COVID, we could say 180 days, 9 months. Post-COVID, it is taking much longer. I've literally had a case where they were waiting on an appeal decision, and I think this was 2020. Long story short, my client, both of them, my client, the guy has his green card. We're still waiting on an appeal decision. And that brings us to my next point. The fact that you're appealing a petition does not stop you from filing a new petition. That doesn't doesn't stop you from doing that. So you can appeal, but for time constraint and getting work permit, you can refile. Now, if your denial is based on your spouse not showing up to your interview, then refiling with your spouse probably will either one, you have to talk to the spouse and see, was there some kind of miscommunication? As long as the reason wasn't them being intentionally malicious so they can control your immigration status. If you are being controlled with your immigration status, then that's your cue to say, let me explore option of VAWA or a U visa, whatever the case may be. Now, keeping in mind, like I said, you cannot appeal a 45 denial. You can only appeal an I-130 denial. And you can appeal and refile at the same time. So it boils down to what the reason was for your denial. If the reason was about documents, then you have to decide, do I have something to show that this was real, or do I just want to wait and get evidence that it was, to prove that my divorce decree, whatever, is real? Then I would just wait to do that, and then I'll refile, because that probably is going to be faster. Another reason to consider is if you were denied based on the fact that you did not have your sponsor and or your joint sponsor did not have the documentation required for the I-864, then you obviously, if you have a new, so 45 is where, you can get that denial. Because I have cases where you can actually get I-130 approved and then deny the 45 because there wasn't, the joint sponsor didn't make enough. In that case, you're not appealing the I-130, you're filing a motion, an I-290B, if you have the tax returns or proper documentation to support the 864. So it really depends on what the grounds for denial were or are in your case, and then that helps you to make an informed decision. So that's about it. Okay, let's go to questions. Your hair is so cute like that. It's unique. Thank you, Vicky. Coming from a salon, that is really, thank you. I appreciate that, because I don't know the first thing about hair. 𝐸𝐴𝐿𝐴, you're so right. My 4th grader son is also working on representing the school next week. All the best to him. I hope he wins. No, we're going to decree and declare that he's going to win. He's going to come out victorious, and you will come back to report by God's grace. You got to speak it into existence. Got to speak it. Speak it and believe it. Good evening, Miss Pam. Good evening, Luciana. How are you doing? Okay. So that is, hold on, let me see. Amen. 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 Yes. You got to speak it. Speak it into existence. All right, let's go to Instagram. And pardon me if I haven't responded to your email yet, because I know there's a lot of stuff that I have to respond to. Today was mommy, like I always say, I'm a full-time mom. And then my spare time, I practice law. My kids got something, that's it. Like everything else has got to wait. That's just the way it is. Okay. Good evening. Good evening. Let's see. Good evening. I remove Abba. Good evening. Good evening, Sister Lawyer. Good evening, everybody. See your son spelling bee. Thank you. I would let him know. His room is adjacent to my home office, so I can hear him, but he's in a world of his own. You already know he's already asked for his price. See, listen. I am the kind of parent, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate. If you, like I tell my kids, you can have something, but I need to get something in return. I need to get all A's. I need you to work towards achieving a goal. So if you want something, that's fine, but you've got to work and you've got to earn it. I don't care how much money I make. I'm not giving and just handing my kids anything. Now, they get spoiled for once in a very greenish, purplish moon. But I believe in positive reinforcement. Got to work, because when they become adults, they have that. So he said he wanted something for Christmas. One of the things on his Christmas list back last year, yeah, he didn't get that. I said, okay, I'm going to scratch this off the list, because Santa has too many kids this year. So he said parents have to take care of it. And so I am using my veto power on behalf of Santa and saying this is going to be off the list. And the only way you can get it is when the spelling bee is over, you get first place, then mama get that for you. So now I got to put my money where my mouth is. But hey, thank you, BJ Jumping. Can I ask you something? Okay, allow me see. Okay, my I always say, so my oldest kid, he's 17. I have a 17-year-old. Something like we're 1 year away from college. He had a gap initially, but he didn't care for it. See, American kids are different. So he had braces and closed it up. And I remember when I used to take him to his orthodontist appointment, he was like, well, you can close yours too. Like, number one, this gap is older than your bloody ass, number one. Number two, this is part of who I am. And my gap is actually slanted. It is just part of who I am. There's nothing in this world that's going to make me close it off. It's just who I am. So thank you. Well done to you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Congratulations to your champ. Okay. Does age matter in green card application if the lady is much older? It doesn't matter in the sense of it is not a requirement that you've got to be some certain age, but it brings about additional scrutiny because of the age difference. Does that make sense? Wanze Uche, you will have that red flag go up if there is a big age difference, especially age difference coupled with racial difference. They're not supposed to consider that, but that's just reality of what I've seen. That's just what it is. I hope that answers, thank you, your question. MC Wukilo, can I say what again? If you put in the comment section, let me know what you want me to repeat again. Ola Wanola, on what basis would they call for ISM 51? I have an ISM 51 interview coming up. So I will be in Atlanta and I'll put the post up. So if you wanted to have like an in-person consultation, which I would strictly require mask, like I'm not even back to in-person often unless it's absolutely necessary. But I know a lot of people are. We actually plan to have we still will have an office in Atlanta. I just don't know when that would be. But I will be in Atlanta February 21st. I will check and let you guys know so that if you want to schedule an in-person consultation, we can do that. I have a friend whose office I use whenever I go to Atlanta. And that is for an I-751 interview. They will schedule generally if you file jointly with your spouse and you send in enough good faith evidence, they usually will skip. I've had 2 within the last year, 751 petitions that my clients were not scheduled for. And we just got, update saying we ordered your new card, we approved your seven, whatever. But in those 2 cases, they had kids together. There was just too much good faith evidence. If there's anything like that, I own such things. Listen, it was just that way. One actually went to Yemen to marry his wife and to marry her husband, and she brought him here. They had 4 kids. They just had enough good faith, more than enough. So those were they didn't schedule interview. If there's reason for them to believe that there isn't enough or sufficient good faith evidence in joint filing, then they will probably call you. An I-751 waiver petition, 99% of the time you will be scheduled for an interview, especially if it is divorce-based, abuse-based, hardship ground as well. I've had only one in my entire practice, only one I-751 abuse-based waiver grant petition that we did not have an interview, just one. And because my client was physically abused to the point of being intubated and in a coma in ICU for at least a week. Yes. So, psychological evaluation, medical records, too much medical records. It was just overwhelming. And she's doing well. She actually became a citizen, I think 2 months after or something. So if you're filing abuse-based, if you're filing jointly, if you have enough evidence, they probably, because they have the discretion to skip interview. If you don't have enough, then you should expect an interview. If you're filing a waiver based, more likely than not, you will have an interview unless you just have enough sufficient evidence to prove your case that would warrant them to have the discretion and use the discretion to waive an interview. Okay. I see the love. How long does valid take after filing? Why do I get this question every single time? Why people? Anywhere from 18 months to 3 years, just depending on each person's case. Hey, Mr. Malik, how you doing? Okay. MC Booking Law, what was it that you said to repeat? Oh, okay. Speak it into existence. Yeah, I gotta teach those kids, and even myself. I can do all things. That's daily. We say that affirmation. I tell my boys, you've got to. And remember, my oldest. And listen. So he does AP classes, advanced program classes, like college level classes, and he's in 11th grade. But history, because I'm trying to see if he will go to law school. He's my introverted kid. He's very quiet, very reserved. Doesn't like stress. Yeah. So he's taking AP World History. And I know that initially, and we never say, there are things I tell my kids, I train my kids not to say. We never profess defeat. If they say, oh, I can't do this. No. If mama hears it, no, we don't speak that way. Because there's nothing that you cannot do because God gives you strength. So we use affirmations a lot. And I know, he was, I don't like to use the word struggling, but he was, he was not making the grades that he wanted, and he's an A student, right? And so for the first time, he had a C ever since he started school. And I said, you know what? I can keep telling and keep say this, but faith without works is dead. So what I decided to do is to get, I got this questions and answers for AP World History chapter by chapter. We started doing it together. And I tell you, affirmations and teaching a kid that you can do whatever it is you put your mind to, and putting the hard work in, they reap the benefit. And so we got that. Whenever he has a test, he'll come and say, hey, can you review with me? I drop everything I'm doing. We're going to review. And by the time he was done with last semester, he put it from a C to a 93 at the end of the semester. So I believe strongly in daily positive affirmations, teaching kids to not accept defeat. And, most of their friends, especially Tia's friends, they think his mom is crazy and not like your mom is. But he was playing his PlayStation one time, and he has his friends on Facebook, and they can see each other and hear and play online together. And one of them was whining, and I was literally like, it was making me crazy. And he goes, hey, keep it down. Oh, you can't leave with my mom without whining, because she's Nigerian, and I don't think children whine in Nigeria. I don't think children whine in Nigeria. I about passed out. I was like, I'm telling this kid was quiet, like right there. Because thank God it's not my kid, because no. But yes, MC Book and Love, daily affirmations. What's your question though? Okay. We had a Stokes interview. I'll come back to Facebook and YouTube. Libra 8833. We had a Stokes interview. I was denied because my abusive husband lied and said, we're not living together. So he wanted to withdraw. Oh my word. And he did. At least that's what the denial letter. So what's your question? In that case, along the line, what we're talking about, in your case, that is the footprint right there. But I can only tell you because it's not this is general information to know what your options are. Now, I would, let me not assume. Did you file for VAL? Let me ask you that. Epic Movements. I want to know if you have any inside scoop on how does Biden's new immigration will affect transitioning from F1 to a green card. There's no new immigration policy in place. Epic Movement. There's nothing everything that's being the proposal, so there's nothing that hasn't passed yet. So that's another question I can answer. Yes, we filed jointly, but no child between us because of 1 or 2 seconds. That's fine. But if you submitted sufficient good faith, just wait and see. And if it's taking too long, if your spouse is a citizen, it's taking too long, file your citizenship. If you've already reached that 3 year or about to file citizenship, that helps to push it a long way. Okay, let's see. All right, those are all the questions on Instagram. Let me go back here before I sign off. Thank you, Nicola. Good evening. How are you doing? What does it mean when it says 100% approved and 36% RFE in lawfully app? I have no idea what you're talking about. What does it mean when it says 100% approved and 36% RFE? I have no clue what you're talking about. What is lawfully app? Okay. Oh, Libra, you just learned about VA. When did he withdraw the application? Okay, I'm glad. Hola, Wanuela. Vicky Air Braiding Salon. I don't know what you're talking about. Lawfully app. What is that? What is lawfully app? See, I don't know everything. I've never heard what is Vicky Air Braden. So tell me, what does 100% approve and 36? Okay, it's an app. Is it a USCIS? Obviously, it's not a USCIS app. Where you can track. So it's a tracking. That's not USCIS. Don't be deceived, Vicky Air Braden Salon. Your decision will come. So in what? Okay, so why would they say 100% approve and 36% RFE? What is that? Yeah. Listen, I don't use any of those apps because USCIS has got their own app. I mean, and I got my account and I can get my updates. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let me go back. Adeyemi Ǩemisọla or Ǩemisọla, what is VAL and does it apply to asylees? When you say asylee, have you been granted asylum? Because a lot of people use that term, but they usually refer to themselves having filed an asylum and it's pending. An asylee is someone who has already been granted asylum. So if you've already been granted asylum, then you're an asylee. You just have to wait, and keep the asylee status, and then you can file for your green card when you're eligible. So are you already an asylee, or you're saying, or you filed for asylum and it's pending? I can answer your question better, Adeyemi and Ǩemisọla, that way. Okay. Is it possible, this is Tyre Ashley, is it possible for someone with a pending asylum case to get a green card if you get a company to file an EB3 green card for you? It is possible for them to file the I-140 for you, but you're not in legal status, so you will not be able to adjust your status in the country, because unless you are in a valid non-immigrant status, even with a pending asylum, but in order for you to adjust your status, you must be in lawful non-immigrant status. If you're not, then they can file the I-140. When it gets approved, you would have to leave and apply for your immigrant visa at the embassy, making sure that you get a waiver before you leave. Okay. Lieber, he withdrew his application on September 28th when we went to our immigration interview. Okay, I would definitely recommend that you talk to an immigration lawyer, discuss your case, and see what options you have. Why would check your case and they give you probability if your case would be okay. See, okay, yeah. Only use probability of anything. No. Yes, I will put that up. I'm almost certain that the interview is February 22nd in Atlanta. I actually have two that day. But I'll put up a post so that you guys know, and you can schedule your consultation if you want to do it in person. But if you come without a mask, I will not meet with you. I'm not paranoid. I just, even everyone, including myself, gotten vaccinated, just trying to be careful, and so we don't have another lockdown. Okay, I will certainly do that. Okay, Mr. Okpeyemi, NTA received few months after married to a U.S. citizen. So what is the question you have, Mr. Okpeyemi? How did you get the NTA? Did you have a previous filing? I will let you know. Yes, I will let you know. Okay, let me see. What's the process? Can I bring you on as a speaker for a youth-run organization I work with? What's the process? Email me. That's fine. Email me. Let's see if we can make that work. My email is AOS. That's Episode Olale Samuel. AOS at olalayalawfirm.com. So email me, Bookie Law, and then we can talk about it. And if it works with my schedule, then we can work something out. That'll be fine. Okay. Was the NTA defective? If it was defective, you can have it withdrawn. If not, then you can file the I-130 and then file 45 with court or seek prosecutorial discretion. I don't know. Have you had a master calendar hearing yet? Tell me, email me and tell me more about that. Now, I would just give you 1 or 2 sentence response. If you wanted to talk about your case in detail, then we'll have to do a proper consultation with you. Anyway, okay, people. Hello, Mr. Solomon. Okay. All right. So I'm signing off for the weekend. Y'all enjoy your weekend. I'm going to be working. Got a lot of cases too. I got 4 violent cases that we have to push out next week. Yeah. So if we can help you, once again, I'm trying to get 5,000 followers on Facebook. Please follow us on Facebook, Olalaya Immigration, Olalaya Law Firm. I would sincerely appreciate that. And subscribe to YouTube channel. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram as well. All right, everyone. Until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Stay